The darkness in the Gilded Age deepens as Episode 9 throws the Russell Empire into chaos. Secrets once buried bubble to the surface, and betrayals cut deeper than ever. The grand facades of wealth and power crumble beneath the weight of lies, heartbreak, and murder. With the season finale looming, every alliance trembles. Every character faces impossible choices. And the question remains, who will survive the storm that's about to break? The glittering world of New York's elite is about to be shattered forever. The episode opens with the aftershocks of last week's devastating events, still reverberating through the upper echelons of society. Bertha Russell, once untouchable at the pinnacle of the social ladder, now wrestles with a crushing loneliness born from loss. George's death is not just a blow to her heart, but a seismic fracture in her empire. She stands alone, a queen without her king, as the grand ballroom's lights seem to dim around her. Her power, so carefully amassed, feels hollow when faced with grief no amount of money can cure. Yet Bertha is nothing if not a survivor. With the public's eyes on her, she must mask her sorrow and prepare for the next battle, not only for her family's legacy but for her own survival in a world where alliances shift like sand. Meanwhile, Agnes Mallister emerges from the shadows with newfound strength. The scandalous book that once threatened to ruin her is now a weapon in her hands. No longer content to be sidelined, Agnes takes bold steps to reclaim her place in society, navigating treacherous waters with cunning and grit. Her financial struggles, once a secret whispered behind closed doors, become a rallying cry for those who have been overlooked and underestimated. Agnes's rise unsettles old powers and ignites new conflicts, especially as she eyes the opportunity to reshape her destiny. Amid the chaos enveloping the Russells, Oscar, burdened by grief and haunted by secrets, teeters on the edge of his own darkness. The loss of John has left scars deeper than anyone can see, and Oscar's path grows darker with each passing moment. His alliances grow tenuous as whispers circulate about his intentions, and his heart wrestles with vengeance, ambition, and despair. Yet within Oscar burns a fierce desire to protect what remains of his family and carve out a future free from the shadows of the past. His complicated relationship with Mrs. Astor and Bertha becomes a battlefield where trust and betrayal collide, each move carefully calculated but fraught with risk. Marian and Larry's fractured relationship reaches a breaking point in this episode, as misunderstandings and misplaced accusations unravel years of loyalty and love. Marian's desperation to repair what's been broken clashes with Larry's growing distance, his wounds too deep for easy healing. Their personal battles echo the wider fractures in the elite social circle, where every slight can trigger a cascade of consequences. The emotional turmoil between these two characters adds a poignant human thread to the tapestry of power struggles and political intrigue, reminding viewers that beneath the glitter lies raw, vulnerable humanity. In the shadows, new threats emerge, as hidden agendas and whispered conspiracies take shape. The mole inside the Russell household has been exposed, but the damage she wrought leaves scars that won't heal quickly. Allies become enemies, and trust is a rare commodity. The looming sense of danger culminates in a shocking climax that promises to upend everything the characters have fought for. As Episode 9 unfolds, the Gilded Age reveals its darkest hour where love, betrayal, and power collide in a dazzling yet deadly dance. The Russell Empire stands on the brink of collapse, and no one will escape unscathed. The fractures within the Russell Empire deepen as Episode 9 unfolds, revealing just how fragile power can be when weighed down by betrayal and secrets. Bertha Russell's cold exterior begins to crack as she grapples with the raw reality of George's death. No longer the invincible matriarch, Bertha faces isolation in a world that once bowed to her every whim. The grand ball she once commanded now feels like a hollow stage, empty of the warmth and loyalty she craved. Her loneliness is compounded by the distance George's death has created between her and those she once trusted. Friends become distant observers, and even her closest allies hesitate to reach out, afraid of stepping into the maelstrom of grief and scandal. Yet, Bertha's ambition burns fiercely beneath her sorrow. She is determined to rebuild, to reclaim her status. But every move is shadowed by the weight of loss and the growing threat of enemies eager to see her fall. Her power feels both a weapon and a cage, as she battles to keep her family's legacy intact while wrestling with the emptiness that success can never fill. Agnes Mallister's transformation into a formidable force is one of the episode's most compelling arcs. Once a figure struggling to maintain appearances, Agnes now embraces a fierce resilience born from hardship. The scandalous revelations in Ward Mallister's book, rather than destroying her, galvanize Agnes to rise above the whispers and judgment. She confronts her financial struggles head-on, leveraging every opportunity to strengthen her position in society. Agnes's sharp intellect and unwavering resolve unsettle the established order, making her both a beacon of hope for the overlooked and a thorn in the side of the powerful. Her interactions with other key players crackle with tension as Agnes challenges the norms and refuses to be dismissed. The delicate balance of power shifts subtly with each of her moves, signaling a new era where old money and new ambition collide with explosive consequences. Oscar's internal turmoil intensifies as he navigates the treacherous aftermath of John's death. His grief is a tempest, clouding judgment and fueling a thirst for vengeance that threatens to consume him. Oscar's alliances become strained as his unpredictable behavior unsettles even his closest confidants. Behind his stoic facade lies a man haunted by loss and desperate to protect his remaining family, yet his actions hint at a darker path. The fragile truce between Oscar, Mrs. Astor, and Bertha grows increasingly tenuous, with each side maneuvering for advantage while hiding painful truths. Oscar's journey is one of complexity and contradiction, a man torn between loyalty and ambition, love, and rage. His decisions in this episode set the stage for conflicts that will echo beyond the walls of the Russell mansion, rippling through the social fabric of New York's elite. Marian's heartbreak and Larry's cold distance paint a poignant portrait of love fractured by mistrust. Marian's efforts to mend their broken relationship are met with rejection, highlighting the deep wounds that run beneath their shared history. Her accusations, born of desperation and pain, only widen the rift, leaving Larry retreating further into himself. Their unraveling bond mirrors the larger disintegration of trust within the upper class, where personal betrayals mirror political ones. The emotional weight of their story provides a human counterpoint to the grand machinations of wealth and power, reminding us that even amidst opulence, pain, and vulnerability persist. Marian's struggle to find forgiveness in Larry's battle with his own demons add layers of depth and tragedy to the episode's tense atmosphere. That the unmasking of the mole within the Russell household sends shockwaves through the fragile alliances that hold the social circle together. The revelation exposes just how deeply betrayal has penetrated the core of the empire. Trust, once a given, becomes a rare and precious commodity as characters question their closest allies. The damage wrought by the mole's whispered betrayals lingers, sowing seeds of doubt and paranoia that threaten to unravel decades of carefully constructed relationships. New conspiracies emerge from the shadows as old enemies seize the moment to advance their own agendas. This episode's climax delivers a devastating blow that promises to reshape the landscape of power. As episode 9 reaches its thrilling crescendo, the Gilded Age reveals itself not as a world of glittering triumphs, but as a battleground where love, loyalty, and ambition collide with deadly consequences. The unraveling of the Russell Empire continues in episode 9 with tension mounting as secrets once buried in silence now claw their way into the unforgiving light of day. Bertha Russell's facade of control begins to crumble, revealing a woman caught between the iron grip of duty and the aching vulnerability of loss. The death of George has left a void not just in her heart but in the foundation of her power. Surrounded by opulence, she feels the bitter sting of isolation as even those closest to her hesitate, unsure whether to offer comfort or to distance themselves from the unraveling matriarch. Yet Bertha is a force of nature, her determination fueled by a desperate need to preserve the Russell legacy at all costs. Every glance at the empty seat beside her in the grand ballroom is a reminder of what she has lost, but also what she must fight to protect. Her calculated moves, though masked in grief, reveal a mind sharpening for the battles to come. In this darkest hour, Bertha is both queen and exile, grappling with the ultimate question: how much power is worth if it leaves you utterly alone? Agnes Mallister's rise is a beacon of defiance against the old guard. Her financial hardships, once a source of shame, have been transformed into weapons of resilience and strategy. Agnes's ability to navigate the treacherous social waters with a combination of grace and grit challenges the established hierarchy and threatens to rewrite the rules of power in New York society. Her confrontations with Mrs. Astor and Bertha pulse with electricity as each woman fights to assert her place in a world that is as ruthless as it is glittering. Agnes's journey is one of transformation, from a sidelined figure to a queenmaker in her own right. She understands that power is not just inherited but seized, and she is prepared to pay the price. The tension between old money and new, ambition simmers, promising a showdown that will redefine the season's narrative and set the stage for a dramatic finale. Oscar's grief propels him into a shadowy realm of suspicion and vengeance. The loss of John haunts him like a specter, pushing Oscar toward decisions that blur the lines between justice and retribution. His interactions with Mrs. Astor and Bertha grow increasingly fraught as trust erodes and ambitions clash. Oscar's internal struggle is palpable, a man torn between protecting his family and succumbing to the darker impulses that threaten to consume him. The alliances he once relied on begin to fracture, and whispers of betrayal swirl around him. Oscar's path in this episode is a harrowing exploration of how grief can corrode even the strongest bonds, making enemies of friends and blurring the lines of loyalty. The emotional unraveling of Marian and Larry provides a stark contrast to the political and social upheaval surrounding them. Marian's attempts to reconcile with Larry are met with cold indifference, deepening the chasm between them. Her accusations, fueled by pain and misunderstanding, only serve to drive Larry further away, illustrating the tragic consequences of mistrust in relationships forged under pressure. Their personal turmoil reflects the larger theme of fractured loyalty that permeates the episode. As they grapple with heartbreak, the audience is reminded that beneath the glittering veneer of wealth and power, human fragility and emotional devastation are ever present. Marian's heartbreak and Larry's withdrawal add layers of emotional complexity to the episode's tension, grounding the high-stakes drama in relatable human struggle. The exposure of the mole within the Russell household is a seismic event that shakes the foundation of the social order. The betrayal cuts deep, exposing the vulnerabilities in the Empire's inner sanctum. Trust becomes a scarce and precious commodity as characters grapple with the realization that their enemies may be closer than they ever imagined. The damage inflicted by the mole's whispered treacheries has lasting effects, sowing paranoia and suspicion that threaten to unravel alliances built over decades. As old enemies circle and new threats emerge, the stakes escalate to a fever pitch. The episode's climax delivers a gut-wrenching twist that promises to alter the course of the season irrevocably. Episode 9 of The Gilded Age stands as a testament to the high price of power, where love, betrayal, and ambition collide in a deadly dance under the glittering surface of New York's elite. Asterisk. The tension that has been simmering beneath the surface finally boils over in Episode 9 as the Russell Empire faces its most perilous hour yet. Bertha Russell's grip on power is slipping, and the weight of her personal tragedy threatens to consume her. The loss of George is a wound that no amount of wealth or influence can heal. Her public displays of strength mask a private storm of grief and desperation. Surrounded by the glittering elite at her grand ball, Bertha is haunted by the empty space where George once stood, a symbol of both love lost and power diminished. The alliances she carefully nurtured begin to falter as whispers of scandal and suspicion spread like wildfire. Bertha must navigate a labyrinth of betrayal, where every smile hides a dagger and every ally is a potential threat. The cold reality settles in the ruthless world of high society. Mourning is a luxury few can afford. Meanwhile, Agnes Mallister continues her remarkable ascent, her determination forged in the crucible of scandal and hardship. No longer the woman overshadowed by secrets and whispers, Agnes embraces her newfound strength with a fierce resolve. Her challenges to the old social order grow bolder, her strategic moves unsettling the powerful and inspiring the overlooked. Agnes's interactions crackle with tension, particularly as she confronts Mrs. Astor and Bertha, two titans unwilling to yield their crowns without a fight. The shifting alliances and power plays unfold with electrifying intensity, signaling a dramatic reshaping of the social landscape. Agnes's rise is a beacon of change, a harbinger that the Gilded Age is not just about inheritance, but about who dares to claim their place. Oscar's descent into darkness deepens as grief and rage cloud his judgment. The death of John casts a long shadow, and Oscar's struggle to reconcile loss with loyalty becomes a driving force in the episode. His relationships with Mrs. Astor and Bertha grow strained, each interaction loaded with unspoken accusations and fragile truces. Oscar walks a knife's edge, torn between protecting his family and succumbing to vengeance. His actions ripple beyond personal vendettas, threatening to ignite conflicts that could engulf the entire social circle. Oscar's turmoil embodies the dangerous intersection of love and power, where the quest for justice risks turning into a spiral of destruction. The unraveling relationship between Marian and Larry adds a deeply personal dimension to the episode's overarching themes of betrayal and loss. Marian's desperate attempts to mend their fractured bond are met with cold rejection, highlighting the devastating impact of mistrust. Her accusations, fueled by fear and heartbreak, push Larry further away, creating a chasm that seems impossible to bridge. Their story is a poignant reminder that even amidst grandeur and influence, human relationships are fragile and often fraught with pain. The emotional fallout between Marian and Larry resonates with anyone who has faced the heartbreak of broken trust, grounding the episode's high-stakes drama in relatable human experience. The revelation of the mole within the Russell household sets off a chain reaction of suspicion and paranoia that threatens to dismantle the empire from within. The betrayal exposes deep fissures in the social fabric, as characters question the loyalty of those closest to them. The damage inflicted by the mole's secrets lingers, fueling new conspiracies and heightening tensions among old allies and enemies alike. As the episode builds toward its climactic finale, the stakes escalate with each passing moment. The Gilded Age's Episode 9 delivers a powerful exploration of how power, betrayal, and love collide, leaving the Russell Empire on the brink of collapse and every character facing a reckoning that will define their future. The storm engulfing the Russell Empire reaches a devastating crescendo in Episode 9, where every secret exposed and every betrayal revealed chips away at the foundation of their world. Bertha Russell's world is unraveling fast. The pain of George's death weighs heavily, but it's the isolation that cuts deepest. Surrounded by opulence and glittering society, she faces a cold reality: power without love is hollow. The grand ball she once controlled becomes a haunting symbol of everything slipping through her fingers. Bertha's attempts to maintain control falter as allies turn wary and enemies circle, sensing her vulnerability, yet beneath the sorrow, a fierce determination simmers. Bertha's fight is no longer just for status. It's a battle to hold together. What remains of her fractured family and legacy in the face of overwhelming odds? Agnes. Mallister's transformation is complete as she steps fully into her power. No longer a shadow of scandal, Agnes embraces her new role with sharp intellect and unwavering resolve. She challenges the social order with every move, unsettling the old guard and igniting a ripple effect that threatens to rewrite the rules of New York's elite society. Agnes's rise is not just about survival, it's a revolution fueled by ambition, resilience, and a refusal to be sidelined. Her confrontations with Mrs. Astor and Bertha become pivotal moments where the old world clashes with the new, promising that the social landscape will never be the same. Oscar's grief-fueled journey takes a dark turn, pushing him to the edge of vengeance and despair. The death of John has left scars that run deep, and Oscar's struggle to balance loyalty with rage threatens to consume him. His fragile alliances fracture further as suspicion and mistrust poison relationships. Oscar's path is a tragic reminder of how grief can distort judgment and turn protector into destroyer. His decisions in this episode set in motion conflicts that will resonate long after the curtain falls, raising the stakes for everyone caught in the web of ambition and betrayal. The emotional wreckage between Marian and Larry underscores the human cost of the unfolding chaos. Their fractured relationship, marred by accusations and rejection, is a poignant counterpoint to the grand machinations around them. Marian's pain and Larry's withdrawal speak to the fragility of trust and the difficulty of forgiveness. Their story brings a raw, relatable emotion to the series, reminding viewers that beneath the grandeur lies a world shaped by very human struggles of loss and longing. As the mole's betrayal ripples through the Russell household, paranoia and suspicion reach a fever pitch. Trust becomes a scarce commodity, and old alliances crumble as characters grapple with the shocking truth that enemies lurk within. The fallout threatens to dismantle the empire from the inside, setting the stage for a season finale filled with uncertainty and peril. Episode 9 of The Gilded Age is a powerful, suspenseful chapter that exposes the fragile underbelly of power and reveals that in this glittering world, no secret stays buried forever, and no betrayal goes unpunished. The Russell Empire's darkest hour has arrived, and it will change everything.